Paradise. Choking sensation of the disintegration of society. Like a backhand to the face, we are stunned into silence. Ignorance or apathy being the coping mechanism of many. Masked smiles of the Mbula spirit. Put on a happy face, you simpletons. Be grateful for what has been done for you. Wave the flags. Be distracted by the convoluted parade of distractions and smokescreens ushered in by a pedigree of leaders who don't give two fucks about you. Meet the new line of colonizers. They'd sell their mothers to save their own interests. Speaking of interest, how much does Fiji really owe? No, not to China, but how in debt are we to the next generation? Birthed into a Fiji where dead reefs spit out skeletons of their former selves? A Fiji drowning in its own filth. Have you walked by the seawall lately? Low tides revealing a graveyard of sins for our descendants to drown under? A paradise narrative of all things good and sanitized. But are your children reading? Your graduates employed? Are workers compensated fairly here? Or are they merely fodder for foreign multinationals to exploit? Fiji, hub of the Pacific, center. A cataclysm of modern aspirations, a keeping up with the rest of the world. Paradise, where royals and dignitaries are paraded to the awe of the people. Subtle whispers to the collective conscience that ours is a place of subjugation. Always looking beyond ourselves for inspiration, as if we have not come from bloodlines that cracked open the break of dawn, spilled sunlight onto the course of this earth, and tempered the seas to their liking. Forget the talk of warriors. Have you ever seen the ocean kneel? Soften its waves at a command? Moses might have parted the Red Sea, but our ancestors swallowed the oceans whole. Salt water gushing through my veins, we are living memories of time forgotten. Shut up, you fool. Your nonsense talk of mythical feats have no place in this new Fiji. Silence the dissidents and stab your neighbour in the back. Loyalty? Fuck loyalty. Look at those who came before us. They wrote the rules for disloyalty, filling up their deep pockets, manipulating the mana to do their corrupt bidding. There's no remorse, only the regrab for power. You want to talk justice? It's a dish best served without hypocrisy. So stir up fear, demonize your enemies, and have the looming threat of violence sprinkled into every single word. The hope of the people is lassoed by false promises. They don't see it's all a fucking game. One where candid hope for a better life is sweetened by words of the oppressors who look like you and me, talk like you and me, but don't give two fucks about you and me. Unless you're a puppet. Pinocchio, the puppet who became a boy. Only in this case, the boy became the puppet. His nose grew and grew, his heart became hard as wood, and the strings pulled by his masters now deadlock across the nation, tightening its grip, censoring those who dissent, middle fingers up to the notion of freedom. It was all a dream, so fuck your free speech. We're the mouthpieces now. Come tomorrow, you better be singing with those Mbula smiles. Strum those strings and wave those flags high. Put on a show for everyone to see. Worry nigh, this is the way the world should be.